Hey Evil Dead fans, this is just a quick video on how to stress the body with black paint and silver paint. Now you can see here that I put a lot of the oil marks, the wear marks on the body so far. You can see right here I used some silver paint to make it look like the metal's worn through. The paint's actually looks like the paint's worn off. And when you do this, you can do it any way you want to. You can stress it out any which way you want to, because I've been through stills and pictures and stopped and watched and looked at different parts of the chainsaw hand from especially the first season of Ash vs. Evil Dead. One thing I noticed is there's no consistency between how it's stressed out, because there's some scenes to where this whole front's all blacked out, or this part's blacked out more, or it's got more of the silver rubbed, or the paint rubbed off so you can see the metal. Well, I'm going to tell you how to do this real quick, how to stress out the body. What you want to do is get a black acrylic paint, usually a higher end paint, and this is a super glossy, not super glossy, but just a gloss red. So I went with a satin. Now, if this would have been a satin red, I would have gone with more of a flatter black instead of the satin black. You don't want it to be as shiny as the body, just because you want that difference of it not looking like paint. You want it to look like oil, or it's worn. So what I usually do first is I put the black on. And the way I put the black on, like say a spot like right here, is what I do is just get some black and just dab it on and put it on pretty thick. Before it fully dries, usually within a minute of you putting it on, you want to just get a paper towel or a cloth and just dab it. And it gives it that nice kind of like it's just filth look. And you do that as many times as you want to until you're satisfied with what you have. Now, with lines like this, how it's looks like it's been kind of moved, same kind of technique. You just dab it onto wherever you want it, and then you just get your finger with a paper towel or cloth and just kind of move it out, and then just wipe off whatever you don't want. And that's how you get that. Now you can see right here this little faux piece, that fake piece, just that cosmetic piece. You can barely see where that connecting little piece was that Milla put to connect these two to hide this line here. What I did is I just went over it with silver, then just did the same thing I just told you with the black. And I did that through the whole handle and any metal parts. Now, once you have your black done, you like where it's at, don't put it away quite yet. What you want to do is get your silver. Get a nice, expensive silver acrylic paint. And the reason why we're using acrylic paint is it's forgiving. You can wipe it away. If you go with something that's more of a car paint or a paint that's meant to stick right away, you're going to end up having problems, because you're not going to like certain spots and you're not going to be able to take it off, and you'll have to use thinner to take it off, which in turn can mess this paint off when you're wiping away your black paint. Now, this higher end stuff, the longer it sits, the harder it gets for it to be removed. So you definitely want to do this in one sitting. Whatever spot you want to do, you want to do it in one sitting. You don't want to do it a week down the road or a month down the road. So after I put the black on, I put the silver on. Now I just put a little silver on a brush and I just go along these edges where I want it. Usually just use the side of the brush, and it might be a little thicker on there, but when you do, just wipe it off with your finger until you get the thinness that you want. And the same thing with making it look like this. Look like the paint's kind of worn down. Now what I do is I do my edges and just push back the axis and kind of just work it in to that black to where I like it. Now, if you have too much silver, that's where I said don't put the black away quite yet. Once that's dry, you can go back and just dab over with the black to fix that. And in my opinion, I wouldn't put all of the stressing and paint on before it's fully installed. I've done some of it, but of course I haven't finished up around here, this edge, and the same thing with the other edge and the top, because you want your lines from the body to the top and to the other side of the body to match where they connect. So don't fully do it if you're going to do a little bit before. Because if you put it together, you may get me look at it and go, oh, that looks terrible. I don't like that now. And it's been like a month. So that paint's going to set. And once it's set, it's set. And then you're back to the same problem if you use a more higher end, different type of paint, to where you have to use thinner and things like that to get rid of it. Now I did the cuff too. And the cuff on Ash vs. Evil Dead is much darker. It's not really super metallic-y. So I just did the whole dabbing on the paint technique and then dabbing it back off. Now, the reason why you want to use the dab technique is if you do this motion with your paint and then you go back to dab it off, some lines are going to start to dry. Then you'll have lines in that black paint, which you don't want unless that's what you're going for. If you're going for a technique like this, yeah, that's what you want. But if you want just like the the dirty look right here, like the filth look, you definitely want to dab it on. And then what I usually do, once it starts to dry just a little bit, I just kind of start to push this back, and it kind of gives this look right here. So you can do a technique like that where you can dab it on and push it back, or streak it on and then push it out, or just the dab on the paint and then dab a little bit off. But just build it up until you are satisfied with it. That's the best way of describing it. Just, you got to be satisfied with it, and dab on that paint and dab it off as many times as it takes until you get the buildup you like. Because the more you do it, the thicker it gets. See right there? It looks pretty thick. And it also looks like it is like old oil that's stuck on there. It actually has its own surface. So that's how you do that. And like I said, there's no real true way of doing it right. There's no real look to it. You just do it to how you like it. So just be satisfied with what you're doing. And like I said before, once you start a spot, finish it out. Don't do some of it and then do some later, unless you are taking a break and going to put the silver on. But when you start the black, start it to finish on whatever spot, because you don't want to try to get rid of it later, because trust me, it sucks. It's a pain in the butt. Now, the next tutorial, I'm going to show you how to do these filler pieces inside of here, because it's filled in. You can't see behind it at all. And the filler piece for the other side of the body, to where the chainsaw bar is inserted, so you don't see your hand through there as well. Till next time, you guys have a great day. Bye.